Okay, welcome to Friday again. And by the way, Christmas is just a week away. So be on your best behavior because you know what the song says. You better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. You know the rest of the song. Glad you're with me today. Come on in, spend a moment in my very small, my little world for just a moment. There's a word we use all the time. We use it in a lot of ways. We use it with a lot of meanings. It's a four-letter word that comes out Love. I wonder how many songs, how many poems, how many stories, how many movies, you know what I mean, have been made just simply on the theme of love. Undergirds just about everything, doesn't it? And yet we still struggle with the idea of love. We struggle with it a lot. I think about the season and the season of the year, and as people run around trying to purchase gifts, fill stockings, pack under the trees, and it's sometimes even months ahead of time. Isn't that exciting? People go out searching for that perfect gift. Why? If you get to the real heart of it, in all honesty, they're probably just trying to say, you mean that much to me. In other words, I love you. How important is this aspect? Well, John writes in the 3rd chapter in that familiar 16th verse, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Pretty good. It's how much he loved us. And of course, love is a giving thing, isn't it? Jesus said, greater love has no man than this, than to lay down his life. Love even takes that kind of gift, doesn't it? I'll lay down my life, sometimes literally, completely, sometimes in terms of will and function and purpose. John tells us a little bit later, as he writes, a little bit later in the Bible, as he writes in that first John chapter 4. Verse 7, he simply says, beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. In the 8th verse, he said, he who does not love does not know God, for God is love. What a marvelous thing to think about, how much we have been loved. But the question, I guess, comes back to us. What about you? What about you, an aspect of your life? We're challenged to care about people. We're challenged to love. Even Jesus taught. It's easy to love some people, but he went so far to say is love your enemies. That can be pretty tough at times. But love is that aspect of giving, isn't it? And maybe that's why this season of the year is so important. Maybe it's why we need to stop and think about why we give, about those presents under the tree. Love, even your enemies. In a world that's caught up in a pandemic and wondering what the next day, the next week, the next month, even the next year is going to bring. In the turbulence of the politics and the distortions of the world, in a world where bombers strap bombs onto innocent people and have them walk into crowds and kill many, there's probably nothing more needed than love. You know, when the Beatles song came out, All You Need Is Love, we might have wondered, well, surely there's more in the world than that. But at the heart of it, at some level or another, it is the sincere desire for the best for others. For at the very height of the word love, it's a great desire for others. It's not just about romance. It's not just about affection. It is about a sincere desire that the best be brought to somebody else. You know, Louis Armstrong, old Satchmo's old song, the line in it says, in the midst of people greeting one another, it says what they're really saying is, I love you. If we embed that into our thoughts, our intents, the words we share in our lives, we become a blessing to others. For we can look at our own lives and recognize where love has been given to us. What a blessing it brings into our lives. What a blessing we can bring to others. So I guess at the height of this season, as we contemplate the days that are coming and counting down, as we tell our fairy tale stories, as we recount so many things, we look to the very basic meaning. And it comes back again. God loved us, gave his son for us. So let us love one another. Let us be like God. And what a wonderful world that would be. I hope you're having a great Friday, and I hope it's a blessing to your life as you are a blessing to others around about you. Just remember, it begins with you. Let's love one another. Hey, have a great Friday. Look forward to sharing more in the coming days. But I hope you feel like you're blessed, loved, and loving today. See you later. Thanks for being with me.